You haven't talked about those taxes. Is it my understanding that if given the chance, you would reverse these taxes, or you actually scrap them? I mean, or you'd reduce them? What would you do?
Well, you're not going to be able to do it as long as you remain in the IMF program. Once they sign on the dotted line and commit to those taxes, a new government that comes in 2025 is not going to be able to renege on those taxes. But it's a 3-year program from what I understand. So 1.5 years of that program is going to be part of the term of this government. And then it means that in the term of a new government, 1.5 years of that term would also be under the IMF. And so whatever they've appended their signature to is going to affect, a new government that comes in. It's only after 1.5 years, when Ghana has graduated out, that you can look at those taxes again and say, look, we can give some relief to the industry in this regard because our revenues are doing better, production is picking up, the economy is more stable. And so these are things that you can review, after the program has ended. But for now, we've locked ourselves in. Well, there's a time we should have been given tax breaks to stimulate private sector, but we're rather increasing the burden of taxes on the private sector. And that's why I was asking, what happened to the famous taxation to production mantra that was touted that never happened? Today they're paying more taxes than they've ever paid in the history. But I do think that if the economy stabilizes too, it will improve the business environment. It will bring back some of the investors who have left, some of those who have left to neighboring countries. We should be able to attract them. We should go out of our way on investment drives to bring some of the labor-intensive light manufacturing jobs to Ghana. As I think it was the IFC man said, in Asia and other places, population is becoming an issue. Labor issues are going to come because they are having fewer children. And the part is they are growing their economies to the higher end of production. And so there's a certain vacuum there for producing leather goods, for producing clothing and things that Bangladesh and Vietnam and all were very interested in. Even in the agribusiness space, like he said, there's a limit. They've reached the limit of growing rice because the paddies are finite. And so where is the next place for growing rice to feed the rest of the world? It's Africa. Africa still has more than 50% of the world's arable lands. So those are areas that we can begin to look to. Malaysia came and took the palm fruit from here. Today we import palm oil and vegetable cooking oil from Malaysia. Meanwhile, we have huge lands. Because of our land tenure system, it is not possible to acquire them to get investors to come and grow oil palm so that we can feed our own industry. Here we're importing hundreds of thousands of tons of palm oil to feed Wilma and our vegetable oil processing companies here. How can we utilize those lands and interest these captains of industry to look at agribusiness and agricultural production to what incentives can we give? And that's why I say a dialogue and a conversation is important. We want to talk to Wilma, we want to talk to Olam, we want to talk to all these who have the technology and capacity to do it. They've done it in other countries. What incentives do they want government to give them? Okay. In order that they help us with cotton production in the north, that will bring extra incomes to poor northern families. How do they help us to grow the palm oil that they use for their industry? These are all things that we can have a conversation.
Great. So you talk about, creating jobs. I mean, one of the things that I'm sure a lot of, businesses will be excited about. But you also talk about a little bit of digression. That's the IMF and everything you've talked about. Well, that's become our story recently. Lots of the conditionalities that you said, well, we got to realize after the approval, actually talks about government limiting wage increase and employment, for instance. So a lot of these jobs that you're talking about, that if you have given the chance in 2025 you're going to create, how do you intend to go about it?
Yeah, so like I was saying, we should, before we went into an IMF program, have put our house in order. And that's what we did successfully in 2015. You remember we had the Senchi Forum?
Yes.
We did it to come out with a homegrown fiscal consolidation policy. We invited industry, we invited academia, civil society, political parties, everybody. It's only the MPP that refused to come. And they said any of their members who come, they were going to sanction him. So Osafo Mafu had agreed to come. At the last minute, he pulled out because his party said they'll sanction him. The only brave MPP person who came was Kwame Pianim, and I respect him up till this day. But we had a wonderful conversation. PV Obeng of blessed memory and a small team were made to synthesize the whole Senchi Forum discussion. And so they came with the Senchi report. And the Senchi report became our homegrown fiscal consolidation policy. So at the time I took the decision, in consultation with the economic management team, to go to the IMF, we had our document ready. We knew what we wanted to do ourselves. Indeed, we had started to implement it in the budget of that year. Just that, for policy credibility, the international community didn't believe that we could maintain that discipline in terms of, implementing the homegrown fiscal consolidation policy. So the EU and everybody was still withholding their grants and all that, even though we're factoring it in the budget. And that is what was creating a bigger deficit, because you factor it in the budget and they don't release the money. And so it creates a deficit in the budget. Then the next year you factor it in again, they don't release the money. So we said, okay, I think they just want IMF as a headmaster to come and stand over us and mark our script and all that. So we said, okay, we'll go to the IMF. And so we did. And when we went to the IMF, we went with our program. The country had seen it, we had published it, we had announced it in the budget, and we had a lot of the things that the IMF agreed, we had put in there ourselves. For instance, in the public sector, we said that we're going to impose a net freeze on recruitment. What a net freeze means, and indeed our political opponents hit us with a gudgel on the head because of that, was that if 30,000 people were retiring from the public services this year, we will employ 30,000 people to replace them. The only sectors that were exempt were education and health, where we're going to employ based on the needs and capacities in the sector. But every other public sector was going to be a net freeze. Now I've seen the parts of the agreement. It says 0.5% increase in the public sector. So there's going to be a restriction in how much government can employ in the public sector. And so the unbridled recruitment of people day in and day out is going to be constrained for the next 3 years. And that is what brings the private sector in.
Okay.
Because if there's going to be employment and recruitment, it's the private sector that must absorb them. But I mean, if you look at the difficulty the private sector is going through itself, in terms of the new taxes we've imposed, high utility bills, it's also going to constrict their ability to be able to absorb the excess labor that is in the market. And so that is what we need to put our minds to. And that is the conversation I'm asking that government should have. And government should have had before going into the IMF. We are in competition in our sub-region for investment, both domestic and foreign. And so we must create the environment that allows businesses to thrive and grow. And one of the first basic things will be to have a stable economy. This yo-yo economy that we have, boom and bust, is not good for business. And so the last time we went into an IMF program, I said this must be the last time we go. We must manage our economy prudently so that it's predictable, it creates an environment where businesses are not surprised by new government policy in terms of taxes and so on and so forth, by deterioration in the value of the currency and all that. Unfortunately, we grew 8-point-something%. We had done all the heavy lifting in 2015 and 2016. Of course, we did a 3-year program because we wanted to send a signal that our economic rehabilitation recovery program could transcend political regimes. And that's why we agreed for the 3rd year. That came in 2017. And so it was this government that came and completed the 3rd year. And so there was still some discipline in the 3rd year because we were still in an IMF program. As soon as the program ended, Kenke Party, and then we started mismanaging our own affairs. Of course, Nkrumah said we should be able to mismanage our own affairs. And we started mismanaging our affairs, and today we're where we are. The red flag was raised about excessive borrowing, and nobody will listen. They said, oh, well, we're getting that money because we are credit worthy and the international market trusts us. Today, that same international market has shut you out. And so that's why I'm trying to give some positive solutions. For instance, I made the remark just now that we should review the Public Financial Management Act to include capping the rates of debt accumulation. And so we can say that, look, we cannot do more than 65% debt to GDP.
Okay.
And so if a government is surpassing the 65% debt to GDP, it has to hold the brakes. We must reduce non-concessional lending. And we did it in 2015. In agreement with the IMF, we agreed that we will not borrow more than $500 million non-concessional finance. Every other finance will be grants and concessional financing. And with that, we were able to manage our debts. We left end of 2016 with a debt to GDP ratio of 56%. Today, we are in excess of 100%. And so legislation to cap how much government accumulates in debt will become necessary so that tomorrow another government doesn't come when we have achieved stability and goes on a borrowing spree and creates the same kind of problem that we have. So a conducive environment for the private sector is to have stability and predictability in the economic management, that the cedi is going to remain relatively stable. Even if it deteriorates, it will deteriorate at a gradual rate every year, instead of bump from 6 to 13 cedis to $1. And I mean, if inflation goes up from 15 or 16% to almost 54%, these are the things that affect businesses and either make investors fold up and go away, or some of them, move out to our neighboring countries.
The very basics of funding that you need to run an effective election campaign if you hope to win political power. Now, for the 275 constituencies, you need a minimum of 1 picker for each constituency. You have to install a megaphone in that picker. You have to have a driver for that picker. You have to have an operator for the megaphone, etc. Now, at a minimum cost of $30,000 plus per car. If you add all these things that I've talked about, and you should include
live on TV as well as and also on Power 97.9 FM. And a Ukuada Mebu so many that was the Sabako Ewon Fimpimino and Ediasa Eduno Miesemo. Medi Mugabe Maase and the inside politics Jumedi Yashan Fair de Eto Abobuano in all the 16 regions. Maybe I will be TV as was it in a Power 97.9 FM. And a penny for me and son, and I'm no more to Chunkomo. If you sabi ya equi, Professor Ransford Jampo, a senior lecturer, a University of Ghana, Honor, Mobetineka, Mobeton Akando, and member of parliament for Jaboso, on also Mobetineka, Western North, Mobeti on also Jumedi Sofa Ambulance and Seven. Sana Mobeti Honorable John Gina Ponsonka, member of parliament for Yape Kusugu in the Savannah region of the Republic of Ghana. Mobeti Sampeni Fuina Enka. Asatema Temo Church for Penny de Ma and this Amonico a bar a chamfor, no who by chamfor to me say, Power no to me as Deputy Regional Secretary no Amani Moi Dupa. Bacha for baby will be an area Ibema by a chow. Dollar mine and Koso ya a trade do a so a year Jasican, one and another matter Quenya in a chacham. Happy Dollar Margin Samba Governor. Was also Jody and a for more total filling station. A what pig farm, a year, Janshi Hunina, Willie, any team in a chiachamo, and at the bar, Mobia Quaba, at the bar TV, as was it, and a Power 97.9 FM. Say a year Facebook Live for a TV as was it Ghana. Sound so and a Power 979. YouTube and so a as was it broadcasting. Atakuliga Biga Mugabe Maase, Semeti Womo. Eba sa to us.
Inside politics.
Live on TV as well as and also on Power 97.9 FM, the hottest and the biggest conversation in Ghana. Inside politics, Jumedie and Wasugusu Awute with 900 million angels on guard and all our filling stations across the country. Mede Edi Mugabe Maase ubetimi afremi atankolega biga na nei ya sha se be sha se Edi free krata enua chase yenyaye na yetumi eda na di ma Ghana fo nyina wodwene ho a wonte ase obeka se on ethical chase wodwene ho a wonte ase te se de bia soja aban bi ana soja ni bi na edi o man so se na na do be sore na ontu hu ni opaso wo ye se obi bia wo ye adwuma e wo electoral commission bia e free eye junior staff ekosi eye senior staff no obi afa ni CV and Sunday or no Nana Akufo-Addo office of the president nyame eya adom eya na sane na twa mu yi krata na ba bonten ya na na do so hia CV no sa edana eno hia eya CV no na ebeto odwa no na dodo na enti ase na enu adai breaking news on Mugabe Maase atankolega biga enjesu no kobowura eya Jemesa ne file ma wo mu yi ya de ba 2 TV so sa Ghana nyina ehwe bi se na panifo asore se o ma ha se kasa Professor Ransford Jampu na chase ono oye wapanyi pa chase ye kan Ghana ya bakosam ya manyosam e wo Ghana ha ye University of Ghana Legona wodi mutitima ye pa e wo ho na ono so atumi akansam afa eye sa eye memorandum abeto edwa afa submission of eye CV say yamfa emra mapanyi asoye no was head office and regional directors na chasa wo kan kata no kwa animu a e kira se obi bia wo government institutions money ade nyina no na do so hia obi CV Professor Ransford Jampu is out here kan ya mwakwa ba de ba TVS was at ne Power 97.9 FM so in the area
Mugabe me also
opanyi area wo pom te san
me also na nya de mo ye pa
fantastic wa enu akata ba beto odwa electoral commission engines na dawo mabowura ho a ye de eto Ghana for animu no se omapanyi se obi afa ne CV emra na so ye unwo krata no watumi ade akire kakra hwedi o
kaka na se adi Mugabe kanu kwa zakata yo kana odi ma be
I just say aha ana wunya information free first.
Sa.
Na for example be so krata no kan krata no hwe directive for my panyi amana. Wodwene ho a wote ase yie.
Na ai ansam na ewo mo no they were too bad to be true. And you know na madam for say bia ai one hour busu can be internal as a CDC na yisa say am pantima me di say bisa among we more electoral commission pen for no be name say copy mo say ampa na ubisa almost ampa na ben na omo kan fa ho ahun say omo say na abi omo hu bida na won kwa na omo kaka sa abemo but we are must say it is something meant for the entire public institutions. But I'm saying that the Electoral Commission should not be seen or perceived as part of the general body of public institutions, because no public institutions in our constitution classify as independent. And you know, you can ask for CVs of all public institutions. But when it comes to independent bodies like the Electoral Commission, you have to approach that institution with some trepidation, because Electoral Commission has suffered some serious legitimacy deficits. It is seen as a body as a buying air control by many, and it is trying hard, or it must try hard to check that kind of image. Osha kwanya the first in ballot or say it people and Osha a kwanya at the beer political parties in government, they always want to act as spokespersons for the Electoral Commission. I think recently, we shall find out appointed some members of the commission are people with very, very, very partisan background. Maybe I'm going to say what society organizations, eminent Ghanaian cafeteria, and the DNC, also we know not what the current recent directive said, regional directors inform then it speaks to the perception and idea that Abana and others of India, so represent or bring the independence of the Electoral Commission, to Maase. Now, and no, regardless of how pious the intention of the government may be, the optics are very bad. It's not something that we should tolerate. We should not allow the president to extend the tentacles of his political synchronism to the Electoral Commission. Electoral Commission is supposed to be serving as independent arbiter in the conduct of the election. It becomes decidedly clear that the commission is in the pocket of the executive president now. Then the opposition would always be aggressively on the defensive and sure not people will take the law of the country into their own hands.
Prof, so when I say appointment on my penny a call, commissioners, I would do my aquacaho, Electoral Commission, so yeah, I'm out for be every concerns, Imani Africa, could deal for I mean, baby, now we are Sabbath so you were less than 2 years to go to an elections. Time, at the same.
And I make answer, we know makes it worrying, and so say. Anka Sadi Mat Yatibikra, the commission is an independent commissioner. Or GOG with Eddie Ayadane. Or you come on in age Mafufro. And I see all of a sudden, the Electoral Commission has not been able to recruit the requisite or required people with the required skill and competence and staff itself is people who are incompetent and a person can. Abide after the or power Electoral Commission director and now buying a form. And you know now form one. And when it comes to promotion and as for now, they have the Makasa internal system in charge of this. So what is the essence of demanding we are seeing? I mean, to say a hard thing and have a crown and say only directors need to cut. We have no magic. We are the other end. I want to be Monka here now or Mokas or Minas. But you see, the Electoral Commission is close to the legal authority or the legalities to be able to resist compliance with some of these directives that serve to undermine their independence and autonomy. And I will say, and I can't want them. And yes, a bit really some politicians have service passports or more diplomatic passports. The two about any I'm overall for the common Hannah, endangered. We don't have to allow this. What the president is asking for is absolutely unnecessary. You can go and ask for the CVs of Omana appointees, the flags are out. I mean, the Electoral Commission alone to battle with its quest to improve upon its image.
Very well. Professor Radford Jampo, you better say, and then, so what you put any attraction on Como Power FM TV as well.
Good afternoon.
Very well. Professor Ransford Jampo Enamote Nekano or senior political science lecturer or University of Ghana, Legon. Wano ena edin sama betu jase Mugabe. Enra ensam no kan no na eyemi mienu na so mesoma do so kwa yemi we mamu se ensama breaking news out de ba Ghana no trodo engines ne adwuma no kura ewum na eno so ensama Professor Ransford Jampo news ye ne edi kan break ye e wo Ghana o say eye unnecessary say na na do beka say umofo mu CV emran ode ye den eno eni ase no na na do de ye den wo de montra se de mu ni agore na na do ha wobetimi aye bibia power 97.9 FM na TV SYZ so ye kɔ ye nima na kyase ye kɔ abɔ awura eye Dubai na Dubai ne ye bɔ awura ma na kyase ye kɔ akɔhwɛ ambulance awodo a ɛno ɛho nsɛm ɛbeto odwa sɛ eye aban World Bank etumi eboye maye ambulance ye fa moa ya pomden asoye no na eno ne koto dwa se ambulance ni bia kwa kopiem ewo Dubai ekopiem wo Dubai so ba bia to cars eno Mugabe kofa be ya ene sa kofa ebaye ye ko eye ahoma no so na ye ne ye nua honorable eye meter akando o ye mra se bedwane di matememfo wo dwabo so abeto ampeso aso ewo Western North ono an san ye ranking member on the health committee of parliament. Honorable Mita Akando Otia Kan Wei, Yamwakwa Badeba TV SYZ in the Power FMs.
Mugabe Maase.
It about the Anadum, a year 1 year, na ye be so. Sir ambulance ya Ebiakopium ewo Dubai no. What you made the tree, now what the chira a monsemono, saying ena isity.
Did I make sure on what ye pony na Mugabe in Samono? Nse ndisabe bi awo ho sen anu ya aba ye tasumi no sensamba a ye nyasem a ka Ghana pa kuma mas ye kani music concern especially members must send this clear signal to the MPP for say here MPP communicated bia so ba be ya no aye no ho so ba be ya no omunjai omo response no meka chese ye boa sa na Sputnik ba omo ye omo ho national health insurance me ka kire wo omo say omunjai ministers no omo appear before us me ya no dia to so miensa Mugabe in samana ambulance for edibatu ga no omo amakra nkeye if we say baako obi ani dia to so mienu Ghana ambulance service no afemu e asie no omunyi twaka bia wom ohwe apam kwa omukoye another agreement another contract aban any supplier ne sign ye na Ghana ambulance mbam the Ministry of Health and the supplier the Ghana ambulance there ya bibia wie na ya je cars na wie no a be di abaye ho no na abaye so dane amamo the car na take delivery a then ambulance no mo de mo nim dia na se mo nyema mo nim wo no isa se di bi kwa mo isa nsensem bi basai na Ghana for a legitimate concern a enya Ghana ambulance wo na mutumlika e be yi ano the ministry and I was say obuyi ano ye to so bim anu ye be na aba na nsem be na asia wode saa sem wototo ho a wutumi hu se ne bi kwochew Mugabe so be kai a Auditor General's report ni me say be page 37 Auditor General's report na a COVID expenditure ho no Mugabe so be kai a o ka say na ya sign contract bi a was say ya sign somewhere 15 January 2021 na I was say ya made 26 ambulances na was say this 26 ambulances na eba January 2022 ndi ya sign contract ni wie no ate ba ko akire no ke mako busu mako du mienu akire no I was say sakaka no Ama Ghana bank each year can be budget $607,000. As a na Auditor General the Jumano, na kaba kokra no na emai. And Auditor General na my recommendation say okay, na me ye adwuma yi, say maya enye hwe. Nemum eni kwasa mama ne bro March 2023, mama cars na embra. Cars no mama ne mboro March 2023 Mugabe na me ne wo kasai and then the chatwa ewo May 2023 car no ba kokora enya medu Ghana
ambulance ba kokora enya medu Ghana
one kwa nya medu
enti dia esi Dubai ho na wa ba bia to cars ni esi ho ye dan e be fa Ghana fo wo mo yare a na be fo mo kwa yare sa bia wo Dubai ho ana eye dan e wo UAE ho
fantastic e ho ne yakui enti ba kwa nya medu yi na omanu ye ni bi say oh esi showroom the also de car le ba no na edia no de kosi ono no showroom ama sa supply no so babontin abekasa to that effect na asembisa ni say anenti na me no wa sign contract se breme cars na de me deal ni bia go ho na de car ne kokosi o garage na mom obi ka be bi de car ne boy yesanya utima ne price na utimi advertise car no ewo o social media handle adentra me na me say breme cars na me no sign contract na utimi deliver your most Kennedy garage aye ton cars sabe the worst case scenario poni say so what the cars e could see garage no be ba that's what say car we yesanya you ka chen say oh car we yenton na kwa be nta kan no so ne mbe the car no ba ko bin sia nti emu bi nie car no so the video no ma ba ko be ni ehu no video ni so nti nse be bre e wo ho e 26 cars ni bi ni afa na audit na wie obi di bia ko ba bi na se bia e 26 e di mu 20 pe aba be du Ghana because me no me nyina ko kai 2026 nti so de 20 pe be du Ghana na mu di nsia na fa ba bi and then the chance that be mu ko hu ye no kra no that's the only place I am with the crazy. It is some adults ye.
Very well. Yeah, na ya de abohe ya minimisa wo de udon se mosuko ekwan bia abefa so amobedom ya so santwefo di akire ebo UAE ho ne amafo kasa ho de ombia no bibi ba wadawroma why rank member on the head committee di o mra sebeje fi no ama Power FM ni TVS was it ya so ate na magana fo nyina so hu no kra e wo ensem no wienua honorable Minta Akando very well onimanya for Minta Akando mra sebeje ni di matemem fo a e wo dwaboso abeto mpeso aso e wo Western North wona mote se ye ne no twetwe enkomo efa ambulance awodo a ho nsem no ye wo se bepie mu Ghana na afei Dubai ana ya no for dia kogu ha eja okotwa di ayache wo mu na so ho ensem no enei Supreme Court ekwa asetena unanimous decision by kwasa pim ya wo kire se na nado ekwan ya ofa so ema opanyin a ye frene se eye Dumlevo na wono eye auditor general wo bona adwuma kama wo ma no edi na adwuma eto ho no na eye unconstitutional na wo ma ni proceed on leave papa no wantimi ansa kwankwa na adwuma biem na no ena enei dudo na ebisewu se sisi Dumlevo wabasa babak abaye na adwuma ese auditor general na eno ene nsem a na dan na nsem yi da wotetete ene nei afei ene humu aye so aye dai etumi aba de Ghana for ebisa ne se Dumlevo abasan abaye na adwuma na anase oma emeye no adwuma na chese de eda ho enso eno no ye bawura nsafufuro ma enada ya na chese honorable John Jinapo ye call eye so yawodo a nsam no emu ye papa John Jinapo nsam odi aba betu dwase se de Ghana ho ye oil kakra bi ye de kakra bi ayewo ewum no abane epekwan bia so ya eno so no kata asesha ne proyebi enso apiemu ewo asoye yinya na ye no ebetwetwe nkomo ewo eye dwumadie no so na manyafo Samuel Kujoto ablakwa wansanfufo mu no wasama ne hom ne so biem efa eye National Cathedral say penifo ekire say wo mu hia eye $100 million no mo de Accra Iron Ross Iron Ross akese pa no ye de betoto mu no omo hia $100 million na omo de Accra na omo timi ato agese adwuma ne omo jai to omo hia $100 million say we IMF de yaba ti enuma no 100 million na omo de aba bebo adwuma ne ebiseu sa National Cathedral no eye priority maya na ye hwe eye La General Hospital na say National Cathedral amina donko so mo ba be yegi oho so mo ba be de oho odwene ho ahonte ase aban we sebi fie nyansa pa de abom te se de adwonso aba akoko kata asehye ene proye eno ko ho adwuma ena omunim eye na no so eye nsema eno so aba abetudwa na ensema eye the executive director of the National Cathedral Dr. Paul Opoku Mensa ono so ensema woka ekire se na chese enu ano no omaho to project no because they need $100 million to import stills for works to proceed and also ensema abetudwa eno no nyame ya adoma eja nkofo a pensioner ye bond holders no omo besan resume eye omo picketing no na chese ni nyina no chese womu ehye kinapa sa ban no boshe ode ehye womu nyina no nyame ya adoma o china mba ase apekete ase china eye June na June na chese ensema wasa ban no sika so tuama womu nyina ontua ye no omo besan akwa pekete ewo Ministry of Finance we eye ensema eno so aba betudwa yentie eye convener Edu Anane Dr. Edu Anane ya wono ene kasa edema eye pensioners bond holders.
Week starting 15th, the ministry started paying all the coupons. But we had also written to the ministry that we wanted to meet them that week and finalize whatever agreement we have to reach with them on the payment of the coupons or the principal. So we gave the ministry up to 19th to try and let us have that. We didn't receive any response from the ministry. The ministry didn't invite us to the meeting. Then the week ended. Then the next week, which was 22nd, we realized that the ministry hadn't paid 2 of the coupons, which was the ones due on 15th, as promised that we were going to pay all up to 15th. They haven't paid. And they haven't also invited us to do the discussion on the principal. So we wrote another letter on the 22nd to the ministry. And on the 22nd, another coupon also was due. So the coupons has become 3. Then we say they should pay the 3 coupons outstanding immediately. And they should engage us on the principals that week. We gave another week, ending 29th, and said if they don't do those things, then we will resume the picketing. We've waited. 29th has come last Friday. We haven't heard anything at all from the ministry. The 3 coupons that are still remaining unpaid, nothing has been said about that. It's not being paid. The meeting to decide on how to pay the principals has also not been called. They haven't called anybody. They haven't even responded to the letters that we have written. And we said, well, we should have even resumed the picketing last week because we said if you don't, we are going back. We stopped because we said we were going to do this. That is why we suspended. So we had informed the police that if it doesn't work, we'll come back. So we wrote to the ministry, the police last Friday, that we will be resuming the picketing from Thursday. I don't understand why, you see, people, if you are in authority, at least you are there because of human beings. And courtesy demands are when people have written you a letter, no matter how it is, just respond. Tell them, I've received your letter and I'm working on it. Simple, just a letter. You know, so because if somebody wastes his time to write to you and you don't respond, then you ask yourself, is it that you think you are not supposed to respond, or you are too busy that you can't respond, or you think that this is not necessary?
All reply on your day. Now, when who are first son and now don't care for yata or chocrata over responding. Who are so who are fair? Yame bow. Now who are fair, who nim dear, who fear yansa at a son and adwa, what chocrata over reply. Sananado obu owobuo adema eye pensioner sa owobuo adema mo a mo twa ne krata over reply. Ko all reply mo dey ayade. What from home by Mubewu a osimumu. Nana do oni tima de ma pensioner so. Ah papa ya okase hwe. Doctor entry. Hwe papa age. Nana do o say and nana do no ba wi aseso o mereda. Nana do o mereda. Wo mereda ne papa be ceremonial president 18 months. Nana do o mereda wo. wadi tirimuda saa abenya 79 years na obi o 79 years no sa onim adwene bone na odi bu o man wickedness vindictiveness at the age of 79 wan sesa onya 8 and obesesa ye ni mu fretete papa yi munnem no fretete anam na ho ofanti wo mu obi a bema wo hu na nim ho say yes wo mapanyina ne ho ofani ofa bu mamo ne ho ofrasene mo na nim onyam awosrosene mo ofa bu mamo nanado na ho ofanti ne ho ade lumba wo se de yi ne ho ade yi hwe na ho ofe munya na life man kwanto ane pe ana homa eso ne kon o se break the 8 na de mu kwa mu nyinaa mo kwa piketi wa Ministry of Finance china a cha say justice ayaso fa yakofu bekobi edem ne yakonsa fufuro mo de di twato okra asenof na new development eba ekere say MPP for bridge bia His Excellency John Dramani Mahama oyeye ya bra oye wie no GTV fo nyina ko ekoye coverage ni bibia enei omunam asenof asefo samutiemi brekufo asefo mesomomutiemi samutiemi a sabe sa jimi sem na omoka ho no mutumu omudi sikane ba sikane do makwaji free IMF omudi ba munyini kwesi na eko na moto abama kwesi me pesa me de okọ back kwesi bro ni beka se be reflective me de ya kwa nkopo akoyechi na sa abra John Dramani Mahama oya bridge ni wie ya GTV ekoye coverage no ye kwa ni ekohe na nei kwa brane fo sabe ajimi fo ya duru ho a wo mu claim si amfa we bibia ma wo mo se o ma ye den wo mu na ye sa bridge no sabe eye jimie John Mahama bre wie bridge no and all power no enie.
President John Mahama inspected some development projects during his Central Regional tour. There were a water project at Gumachimpim, the stadium, and the Kutukraba market at Cape Coast, a bridge across River Pra near Asimprasu, as well as cold stores at Elmina Beach. Napoleon Atukito reports.
President John Mahama was accompanied by the Japanese envoy to Ghana, Mr. Naoto Nikai, when he commissioned a new bridge across the Pra River. It is part of a newly constructed 60-kilometer asphalt road between Asin Praso in the central region and Bekwai in the Ashanti region. It is to link the southern and the northern sectors of the country through the western corridor. The N8 project, which cost $100 million, was funded by the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA. The Colonial Road and Bridge deteriorated over time, and thus necessitated government intervention with Japanese assistance in 2009. President Mahama is pressing for the reinstatement of the yen loan portfolio, cancelled by Japan in 2010 after Ghana rebased her economy and became a lower middle income country. The next phase of this project is the reconstruction of the stretch between Asin Praso and Yamuransa.
Baby out no a quine no and I will say #1 road ewa Ghana ha. So yentimi nya jetre anasika entimi nya Ghana kwan na at once. Enti kakra ye wia ni akoye we ye wia ni akoye we meka say akwan a ye o Ghana ha edoso enti mesre se nyamba ye wo de a o se wunya abotre na nyame abdom emrepam ye beba be ye wo de nso enti omo a eya emabunu no etomre bia no ma sori no mo de car tie akosi kwan say kwan na say ade na ban be ye na echese omo de wontwi ni sa nyoma eba no mesre omo se omunya abotre.
The chiefs said they want road tolls to be collected on the new Asin Praso Bekwai road, but do not want their demand to be politicized. They also want underground water pipes, which were destroyed when the road was being constructed, to be refixed. Many mistook the temporary structures for traders at Kotokuraba in Cape Coast for the main project. The quality of the temporal structures suggests somehow that the main structures in the offing will be of higher standard. 50 out of the 200 million yuan under Chinese grant has been released for the start of the project to be completed in 2016. The 15,000-seater stadium under construction at Cape Coast is also being funded by the Chinese. Though the main structure is yet to take shape, works are said to have started in earnest. Home-based sporting clubs such as Ebusian Dwarfs and Venomous Vipers are expected to play games at the new Cape Coast Stadium. The facility can also be used for other social events. At Gumua Chempim, the president commissioned phase 1 of a multi-million-dollar water project for Gumua West and Ekumfi. The 3.6 million gallon water facility is not being fully tapped because of financial, engineering, and extraneous factors.
Nti wedie wanimo wasum wahumi nti ajimifo ne ba ho ne omo be ka kire say we eyomu no mo ba e o ma ya ka kire say Mugabe say who say wo evidence jimi eni de omo ba koso ajimi wo ho saa omo di sika ne ba amonyi na muni na ye beto omo e wo ho e wo ase nofo ho mame ma me nua ohene babo ama be ne akwaba na yemfa de aka no nto ase ndinga
Moga
ibi aboko de
trade am poda Roma Moga bi aboko
do ba de na se
ya enra we video bi e wo ha na video na we yi no na e fa Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wo say omo ba be ma free laptops and a tablet.
Fantastic.
E de amaskun kwada Moga me wo eye NDC 2016 manifesto
okay.
And I war the People's Manifesto 2020 do you know.
Fantastic.
Now one say Moga dia ba ko bia e wo Ghana for ho ne say e tom be bia ya me di ya e wo the understanding of some of Ghanaians ene boapaye bia e ya wo mo hyeda e di wura o madwene mu say NPP etwa ntrompo na say wode enkrata e di prove to them say ebia de nipa no kan ye no enye no kora na still now no na nipa no aya sobrate se wontie no kora no a wo kan Muga na ayro seme wo mu ne say eyo wura John Dramani Mahama e no started so provide laptops e de ama akyerkyerefo e wo Ghana ha na bi mada e na university fo no nso bi enya bi ya university fo no a wo mu enya bi no wo mu dia wo mu enya ye no kora no ena ebo omo mo dru standard a wo mo ekoye kokodru yen san komo ikitwa yi wo ba eye teacher first agenda no a in this krata no 2016 manifesto no putting teacher first say ekwan omo ye no said you see eye budget no Muga ama pages no PM papa pages no amma bi wo ha eteyiraye said you must see a printing no
okay
inti ama no many bi wo ha na mum se wo kan a page me fan say starting from the beginning no me fan say page 1 me fan page 1 2 3 4 5 e be page 5 e ho na wo na Moga wo ba ase wa teacher first agenda no was say omo provide over 50,000 laptops to teachers in this budget, in this manifesto. NDC provided over 50,000 laptops to teachers. Eti atechira fo
omodema teachers so omanti womo
free ena omanyo obi te se hosia doye ama na mabonti ameka tro mo se so mo laptops no mo kotungu no mo koto mo de. But he gave it to them for free in this one.
So no, you did your goon so ha no. woni me say oba no de one na wo ba o hwe na ode ne court no se se de wa start ehwa akwara se Mugabe ha no dodo okoka court ho Mugabe ha no dodo ti se de wa start ehwa akwara no apapo so ma book wa se wo hwe no no se mo ba thank you
Moga mamimfa the People's Manifesto. This was 2020 manifesto.
Okay.
But I think said the way your NPP for see copy a normal free manifesto we mono. Medical can say man 40 years plan development agenda. Sabuku na yemfa to Ghana nyina say mo bia nya manifesto biem. Yemfa we mfa nya budget. Now we bad ye wo no no aba be ye bi. This is the plan for the nation. Because asama Dr. Mamadou Bawumia kan
Professor Akwakuda so bo afomo manifesto no.
Mo
fantastic.
Say Moga wo hwe ensemo a NDC amanyokuo no kan ya. What to me clearly, how me tell bisa say NPP for no. Are they really serious? But at the end of the say, NDC no a krata no yomo dia no. Say NPP for the chantra. E tom be yomo hwe mbuku no mu meka nkyere Ghana for. Owura John Dramani Mahama e kan page 70. Page 70 of the People's Manifesto. Mogati J was to promote the use of ICT and provide free Wi-Fi in schools to enhance the performance of students. Eti na nadu mo beka so mo de Wi-Fi e ko school bia mo ko tu free a. Wo mo wie friend this for.
So ma bon.
Moga K was to provide students and teachers with free tablets. They will provide, was it the next NDC government will provide students and teachers with free tablet loaded with relevant content to facilitate teaching and learning.
Power the fair.
Boga, Owura John Dramani Mahama no so adeba. Yanko the next one. Na me santre wade from. Page 74. Page 74. E was to provide free laptops to tertiary students to facilitate participation in virtual classes. Right? Bawumia say, Wamu babe provided tablets at the Amesku Kwada, Ghana for. Bawumia ni swadi huno. Wọ́n sẹ́ mi ní mo di nkɔmɔ bi emire bi atwam ɛtena mo NDC sɛ ɔmo ba bɛfa workers 100,000 workers ya wɔn ba bɛkyɛ enuma no ɛdi ama ɔmo bi mo bɛkɔ sanitation bi mo bɛkɔ health bi mo bɛkɔ apparel bi mo bɛkɔ sei bi mo bɛkɔ sei ya na ɔmo ba bɛyɛ adwuma no NPP ba yɛpɛ na ɔmo fa nom tu di napco na ɛsansa na nyɛ ɔni swade hunu nti no wɔntumi anyɛ. Dear Dr. Mamadou Bawumia eka ni nyina no ena moga wunim sese o plagiarize a eye kronbo yeah you become a thief enti oh yes and nanado dan kwa Akufo-Addo eye nipa o rie amanfo nsem e wo ma no because oh yes yeah enti nanado eye kronfo a wo rie obi asem and Dr. Mamadou Bawumia enya otrofo nko a because what type who is the biggest liar in Africa and I say in Ghana. Dr. Mamadou Bawumia is the biggest liar. Yeah, Wikipedia and Google. I don't know without a chedi no say. One of the eba and true cha. And you're not duma chedi. Yeah, chedi up the chen kwa. Yeah, one mere hokra. It only Dr. Mamadou Bawumia jina wana mudin komo biyanwa. And was so here na no kasa ye. Because Dr. Mamadou Bawumia kasa hwesra eya no ahwe fom wono na nananum ebu sabe no e de ema no moga the next NPP government ain't deserve anything better na etomre bi a Ghana fo no eya na yenin kaye won say ye nananum wo kasa bi sa santen kai and chesa santefo na nin kaye na emom ni padasani on kai ebebu oni fra Asante region e ba inti na be ya santen kai moga ni panin kaye nansan ya yure fi PDS nansan ya 10 million contract ya award ye koko ema wo mu yi sika $10 million edema contractor so fan koye audit mogame no kasai contractor no koye audit no report wa ama bibia so ama na mami nwura Asenof me bae na wo ho ye ni san komo we from Asenof ye ba beto abai NPP for meka de omutumi ye no Asenof ema wo mu mami chantro 7 preduasa muria dodo nanado danko akufuado ene okowie awura John Dramani Mahama Green Garden wowie ya no de ne din ede toso nanado de wono ndi ne toso otena mecho de atrem Green Garden owura John Dramani Mahama ne di Green Garden ne say efie edam mu sei no na omaye omo ekwan omo de tent no ade ye na omo dua tomato somo ne sanuoma no sa Green Garden owura John Dramani Mahama no de bae sa dwumadie na omo ye wo do wanya na do bae pe no sese din no ne din de toso anu podi akufo ado ankasa ba John Dramani Mahama na so for MPP to steal achievement ayomo hallmark yani Ghana ha and owura John Dramani Mahama ye pokwase interchange na do beka say ne dia yani Ghana ha and owura John Dramani Mahama eba ye temamoto runabout na do owura John Dramani Mahama na do sene dia ye wa Ghana ha and owura John Dramani Mahama ye obi chebilamte interchange yo mu ye na do si eyane dia akwanyo owura John Dramani Mahama start ye nyina no na do awia enso wo John Dramani Mahama buku mu a ba omi abo ni tinkosa kotre ese John Mahama eje ka obi anyi bida
kotre ni omo bebiro
wono ne dia ne yakotimpomponi no
abosoma kotre
abosoma kotre ni nyenya no wadi yakotimpomponi no de obo tinko papa no
ne ko
ne hakoko no mo no
thank you
what you say enti sanuoma no yesramo ye bekono figure by figure fact by facts me to me mbodi nyina about me wuram moga 1 yanko electricity nkurasin kanea obi anim se ni power den kanea anamanyoku o den kanea ekon nkurasin mo NDC wa be wura yewura jeje runs ye president no woni na soldier for kwa ka no omutimu no na didem transformer wo mudu ba bia bi o hakura no light na twam ho odu aposible sipo papa no me transformer so osemo mo light no me jahoko na ECG for ba be connect it is eba electricity ego Ghana ha there is no political party yes there is no political party than NDC na do dan kwaku Ford meka de ye owura John Dramani Mahama send off nkwatie asembreku kuro no kuro kase no wo munya bi rural electrification no wo munya bi afei kura ye frɛ no dansam kwame yankra insia krom wawase ebuba kukuwa nkukuasa amwoni yawata tita amwa nyame betre bresiako adiamra ene ama camp ahanta town come see ama town ene ama camp ahantem town Kepsi Ndiaso ene nkuro ne doso moga ya wonkuro not more than 70 ewa ha nto pra agave bediadua antuabasa enkuro ne doso donko kurom sibinso endwa akonfuidi ane na asefo and akonfuidi mpodie omunya yanya hospital crowd moga you move to the next one 6 unit classroom blocks enkura womu 6 unit classroom blocks under a send off me say na nadu dan kwa kufu ado ne MPP for should come out for debate and ye can ye kono sector by sector enkuro by enkuro a send off enuma NDC amanyokwa ye no ho momeka na munya numdwa no womampani akufu ado nim ferye ana bawomia so nim ferye efri da yawo bawomia de babesi na she woni ade kodie
onamfiki
eti all the time ni nyina no bawomia toto na ni awe eti wo munipa e wabrabom wo de entro e bia ye na bodini
school fee dey obedegetize
ya eso baba wi atire no omunya duane bi kura ni
moguno
moga 6 unit classroom blocks omunya abie ana meka no 11 communities ya abandon say dia ya wie baako ya abandon yanko ya wata omunya bi twede ase omunya bi wawase omunya bi ademra omunya bi ademra de no omunya office omunya store any library edika ho abiase omunya bi Buniye omunya bi, Asempa na ye omunya bi. RC Basic School ewa Asempa na ye. Afei adiamra ayi asibrim no wamunya 3 unit KG blocks and office at the 11 unit no. Gold Coast Camp omunya bi wo ho. Sabina omunya bi and Tuaba so omunya bi Donko Krom afei Atribande one the other day wo magai enyanwie ye. Moga the next one 3 unit classroom block. Ya watanya 3 ndua sunya bi awrabunya bi KG afei enkura hodo yamra 4 unit classroom blocks and 11 unit classroom block yefra education am last one amenko yefra education se said ye twedi ampada roma wo bo achievement no am toilet anka ho Ghana fo mpe because na nadu am ye hu say toilet e ho mfaso che market because ankonko si toilet was Santa region am ye nkoto santre nkoto aba e no so ho hia but da bia me bisa say we see self-contained no we see kitchen no obenu aduane adie no ada na enye wadwe so besi toilet aka ho na odidi wie na obene abene wo moga ba me tro toilet ya assembly esi no ho assembly under the DC o si no ho tie toilet public toilet 6 bresia kunya bi wa wasinya bi dwetire enya bi asempra so enya bi asin kusia enya bi afi last one market eja owura John Dramani mama no si market ka ho dwetire enya 80 stores 80 asempra so enya market akonfede enya market ewo ho moga some seme boba me ma chip compound me ma polyclinics me ma telecoms me ma bridges moga ma me ma bridges no na me nko ma wie bridges brofiadu eko krofrodo wo munya bi asempra so nya bi koduadan anya bi subrik bridge ewo ho ya wo ba ko a na ewo kura ye frɛ no simpa tie simpa ye frɛ no mahama bridge na nadu dan ko akufo do meka bridge ya we did that so wo ma ye achievement na nadu edin da onwuma owura John Dramani mahama ye eno din dia do so ye ba sere Ghana fo se ye sere mo asin of election na ye koto no ye begina so for figures and Trono e ka kire am say John Mahama so obo betwa free SHS mo no ene mateo ene bo ene wo ba e ko free SHS a obetua more than 5,000 cedis ansa na wanya kwanya akwakuwram etimesra mo mu vote enfama ya nua James Jachi question ye beba ho boga
na ono abosuru go se enye ne den
wono de da bia o ma no 10 hours ekro beka se sha
ono abosuru go ho
me na me ka kire wo ma no 10 hours ekro beka se sha
ba we champion mo
we champion man na so
ye fa ne sa
be fa ne sa
Power the fair.
inti ye tia no
ye da ho aba ye ba ye bi din ko ono abosuru go e wo via ha oh my engineer ya tiabe
The serene environment fits into the goal of the school, which is simply to provide excellent educational foundation for your ward's development before they commence primary education. At first glance, clearly you will see why the school is called Hebron Hills International School, as the building stands tall overlooking town. With a Montessori style, we have experienced and dedicated staff and trained teachers. Our small sizes classrooms are meant to enhance teacher-focused approach where children get one-on-one attention from the teacher. Hello there. We are open at 7:30 a.m. and school closes at 2:30 p.m. After school care is from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. while early drop-off can be arranged at 6 a.m. Hebron Hills International School is located at Midye off the Nsawam Road. Locate us with GP postcode GW0688 GA West and GPS code 06884870. You can contact the school and make further inquiries on 050-876-2375 or call the office directly on 0302-918768. Email us at hebronhills.school@gmail.com. Hebron Hills International School. Excel and shine.
Score HD, the new exciting football channel, is now available only on HD Plus and brings you football from around the world. Watch Sadio Mane and Daniel Kovic in the top weekly match of the Bundesliga 1 and DFB Cup, Primera Liga, Copa de la Liga Profesional, see Ronaldo in the Saudi Pro League, as well as daily sports news every other hour. Also, get updated on Messi and Mbappe on PSG TV and many more. Feely on HD Plus channel 151. Agronaide HD Plus, the Feely experience.
Notice lately I've been drifting aimlessly. The actual retail price is...
Cine, exclusively on HD Plus channel 115.
Global Sports Alande our TVSYZ say there every Monday you say 2 p.m. you be komo e dia fa all the breaking news, opinions, actions, punches, analysis. Ni nyina beba wakwemu you be komo say your football, your boxing, chaskele, basketball, rugby, volleyball, hockey, table tennis, and in the Kahunyina, all the list finance sports, you be raho, in some way Dika, in some way Sefata, and a some ever bro, our Jumedenoso, all the big interviews, ever Bawakwamo, and then send trophy Kuku Jam, everything come on our Jumedenoso, Yanni coaches, as footballers, Kaihu, the Enina Yemburi Ghana Sports.
FM.
Yamama Kwaba asan ba power 97.9 FM Ekofaba from Kratos ABSS and also here live on TV as was it is a political jumedi Honorable Abubakar Surugu, former member of parliament for Medina Watrase ya Ebetwetwe Komosanso Upper West Regional Deputy Organizer Prince Mahmoud Onoso Atrase Prince Mahmoud Atrase. Abaye Prince Mwakwaba.
Yeah, only it's saying.
Upper West is saying.
Nyamiadom.
Yes, Sabi NDC regional office. You may be at tomorrow.
Yeah.
Good. I yet tilapia phone.
What your monka?
Do a monka pa.
The beer metri mo biana. Ora amehuga.
Fantastic.
I know you're the president.
Fantastic.
Ube fa ho bia no we bia tum say now amount for 80.
Wow.
Yeah, regional party office.
Fantastic.
Sometimes a meeting crowd may meeting no.
Mugabe fire no there.
Yeah, it's a dim all the time.
WFM so right. You just said BBR the Dana Kwemo there. So we deal with the issues as sure. Fantastic. Namema Honorable Kofi Amadou Abubakar Surugo Akwaba, former MP Madina.
Mejoso.
Rapoma
already had down on my hoye. And they are Chiabia.
And I said, what you doing to do?
Samirao. Nama Koso Ghana, they say, and all Ghana. The transit juniors, Anya cry and Unicacra. If you may be a Ghana, Filina baby, I be doing. Well, Obia Nini Cinema, and I be bringing so any sin or more in the cinema. And T. Meda Radias is a Manica. I would say Manisino Cocrabona Money Wesson. Oh, young Lulu and Cocraboy Association, Opa now joining. Minya ready to joining. And the association. Na
Bahwadena Buffum.
Oh, there be
a man to me and was a Buffum.
There be Bibiano Buffum.
Oh, that's what you know now.
So then near this I
say here, Dr. Muzumwa.
Oh, there be. Dr. Muzu dear say and yet a surgeon kwan and a more in here. There might be a 135 and 40 econo. Say prostate enlargement to them far or horn. So there might be a intino a muzu. Ayo be a say minino. Madame Papa no doctor Nimsana drone so a capa. Fantastic. I don't have a problem with him, but Moga seriously speaking, Ghana I was say Yadim Paibo pa. Seriously. Ano pay me trans me da me nko afa na manisu atata cause me dwene ehwe ba bia Ghana pa me free time na me wo Legon 78 79 80 na 81 na me hwe ba bia na niama sitie na me de toto ne ho a moga a hadwene I was a Ghana fo nyina asi ye bumfu papa because ke ye ba bia and a party called MPP, a president called Akufo-Addo, a vice president called Dr. Bawumia, and a baby pa among for Buofua near Nanado, Bawumia, MPP, Canoforiata de Ghana, no, Kababy Amasa, and can they be a besor bia? She be an amquam, a cocassa woman, a behuse ampire niabre. And so Ghana, I saw be found. And I said, Obi Adrena, Miraho. But well, chair,
fantastic. Obasha say, Amame, Nafe, Yunia, a year, Prince Mahmoud, so Eddie B. Akaho, and Ra Anna, a Power FM 97.9, Mugabe Kofaba, my name is Angels, no, you bore electoral commission on a say, the mess are far be waha, Ibra, just angels in Bure Amanu Mukuyi, crater be a buy, can crater no swan anado. Say we here a year umom ye adwuma e wo yisi no a free junior staff ko senior staff head any regional directors no we here will be a CV na say we beto dwa na me frɛ Professor Jampo no se muganse we di ntimi si me gituma say ye no kura enye yi na am says do mo so na so ye wo hwehwe mo beto dwa che say ade cha no pɛ na che Professor Jampo station we frɛ na no se Mugabe kofa baya na kofa asem me ba yo na me so ma ye me wiwe mu nyina do so ko say senior political science lecturer and sama ebeto dwa no eye no kuretudu na wo munnim ba bia ne za nanado the powers no person wode yeden wodi edu electoral commission wa appointing ni pa ko ho ama ho asema ye kakura no ye nka nwie se nkofo no wo mu de mu CV ba wa so ye be pa adwuma ene wo mo ho nsem nyina ya be kan wo TV so aka radio so ama Ghana fo ho eno anso se de obi o ye adwuma wo yi CV ya wo hia ne CV na wo hia CV no ede ayeden na ye unnecessary Professor Jampo sama odi abetu dwa awie ya no ono abosorogo we are no saying ebi ana na ado edu no
na ayo
nanado die
nanado ayo won wase nanado ayo we ana asere won obi ansu afa no a nsu na yiri abuso afa no kɔ na wototo no nsa na ade bia ne nsa besom no onsom ade bia ne nsa beka no onsom onim sa ampa se nsuo na efa no wawu wawie okwa no ade na oso ye me I'm not surprised because me na Akufo-Addo near parliament me I'm not surprised na na ye but oh ade na said na me betra ha bia meka me ne no and da bia me betra ha meka ana sebe preduas wonim hwe moga onyame so onya free wachira no wa free wachi office na do oye no office nkamanfo be hu ana dabi anso wanya ade anchimpo ana amanfo hu ye onyame ayi na do to wayi NDC to MPP sorry wayi MPP to wayi na ado to wayi baomia to nti there is nothing that they would do yenhu right from the word go womo dia fa de ombe fanyi nara womo due musuko ahwehwem ed intelligence akoba bia all the regions akwam intelligence womo ye meeting we swim together or we all drown together omo akọ atwetwe ni nyina report about
for example sir ofre empanifo bi ni omudi nkoma say tin sema na ado abai odi omo ayo omode mana
oh na say no dia no an say no bi abeka electoral commission I can assure you na me ya adwuma wo NCC the same block electoral commission
for civic
education me and me first deputy director in charge of finance and administration.
Wow.
Ewo NCC headquarters bisobia. Wow. Me ni electoral commission and start here. Ye nyina ni me hu ye adwuma bom ebeka ne. There are very nice gentlemen mo pe no credit. Womu fi se Ghana hu hia asini se ye beba. Womu omunim se ye sorry a se be etuo stray bullet onim MPP no onim NDC. Ana ebre eba na se amanfo dwane a MPP dwane NDC dwane. A lot of them are there. But empenimfo no anana do ahye akukuru omo akogu hono. Womu ana achichire womu ano. Ene said that me catch us and anato ne tactics are wafa na easy. My common is oya be wu a fansio nafa gari gum nafa komano obeka so wabre no salad because it's a common money yewu say waya ma obia person obono na djuma ho ban. That is what is happening. Ghana ye din na nado asheda mu be wu amumu mfa mo ho nti obi apeso obo na dwuma ho bai nti no na enya no anka pensioners omo start picketing ochena our finance ministry omu obia omu hwe no ho fe omu obia obu obia enka nkrofo ebi kura nyini sene no komo ontitu omo sa masa maye nwene kino foriata ho kino foriata nyo no ande de nkosi o obi eneyi no and we call parliament na parliament approve no parliament kro no asa be kase papa no na djuma nsoni onko banana akofo ado say no way no onko na sika no a we wiegu no okwa ebe den yetimi ache masa niama e koso no Nanadu is doing all these things just because of one thing Ghana for so mu sene be ya ochina okwa na chi krono awudisam sambonia kono wenechi no obi baba be kata so amano. That's what is doing this. Oh, see a 4 years in there, 8 years in there, benyo MDC for bar. The way a John and Yabreno, abeha. The way Ghanaians in Yabreno, abeha. Wamba for so more ama NDC for I say. Intinia me biara after all medaya ya. Minsro minita.
Eti oji sibi na ye disika ada o
master nothing oji
sibi na na do oji di ayeden.
In the first place unconstitutional. Nanado is not the appointing officer of those people it's completely unconstitutional.
Yeah, and the Supreme Court to the Ababe said the Supreme Court has in a unanimous decision described as unconstitutional the directive from the presidency that as
Domelevo
Auditor General
Domelevo na say na do no oye no nim say na oye na unconstitutional onim pa say na oye na nye
decision from the Supreme Court
exactly but
the highest court
near open no nsaka after all wetimi yi Domelevo free ho 1 million na osafo mafu ekodi ya Domelevo ko kan wasemi nya na awi ho na eboso biom ansam bi bra na di ho ya hyehyɛ Domelevo ni apriso bewe mu no awahi nya no an wosaye ya ana matinamidu special prosecutor ono say diabida
mother serpent
because sebe wo de mi aba sebe ma me boa ni yanku kita asihye proye kankan na se sa wu no na otu nkosua ne no mahwane kita asihye no wo nkosua
ene hwane kankan
mother sepen
me kokan ya wusi da bi media ni de fato na mom kokan ndc de na wusi da bi me nya enya ne sa ye kanya de a ye wohuru ye nim free form nkosoro ye de free soro na abafom enti no mayenye ene okoye enti no hwa na Nadu is being able to get his own way wanya wonfa ho na Nadu guy adu show mine ha ne besinsi after all JDM wanya 8 years unya 4 John Draman Rollins oko 8 Kofo oko 8 me na Akofo ado me nso mako 8 equalization asa hey sika mu nyina manya sene mo si bibia ni wa mu dem ho betoto
suafo ayiye
na busu ani be na nyiye na busu se kura de enye friends and family se na Nadu de because utie a lot of the friends are omubuafu amenye se family
friends in FM
friends ni bibre ko
come the voice
come the be and they say ucha masa hwenesi oboase hwenesi oboase ABC NDC time John Frey a political hey masa nipa life here precious nyamba ya bia munyi wo mun tententem bibi wo ya ka up to aden 300 see ke kase no kura nya no kure nipa life so mo hyase so mo kwa akopani ombe didi wunsusu aka yesi mo chedi ama mo mpanimfo ne se wo mo ne fa nkrofo nko didi o nkwada wo ho boase hwe ne boase aye apart from facelifter JDM any Professor Mills edima NDC di ma boase facelift mo hwe ne boase aye enti no electoral commission unconstitutional me wo wan come fa nko unethical there some constitution unethical na onim unethical onim fere ono mfa no ono odinani atu say krono no obebo NDC
because in the electoral commission or independent
body
inti udi enti na wo no
clause act no entrenched wontimi
the directive came from the president himself
of course
enye chief of staff why executive secretary to the president
at times no mama blame no ye way because we feel say won crofobia omutana
all right there
na say na
maybe akon bibia all right
oh well for now ne there ye ntimi nya doctor mane nkonko hwemu
na mi bi so say bibia all right
basa wo hwese nipa da say ma wo say nka wo ye ne dia yenya doctor into until say doctor be declare say ni no untimi nka but ni ye ono ni oni dey so sha
hoko 81 utumi ye niam bia
obi 80 85 90 me papa onya 103 me papa me ba no oti ho no oti afu no kan the way Ghana na sitie the way NDC abaye Ghana the way Rollins so Ghana mu de mata meals me papa ka interesting history wo kai 100 years ago papa kai second world war mu ko ye say
na Nadu bibia okay no ye ne baba
na Nadu obi a sebe mpreduasa wo de ahye ne mu so ne de onye obi a odo Ghana fo wa maso oba be do Ghana fo oba say look hey obi a ko 8 me so ma ko 8 me pa japade ade o referee say so ko ton ne papa japade e de campaign nyam nam kan we referee say
video 12
yes yes so ko ton ne papa ajapade we referee say manfo nam so man 5 million na o bibia ye boko we referee say Crawford nam president mu adenti na tem bia ye be ka keta ashyem ade enye proya na udi abam Ajazira adenti no muka so mu apologize no adenti no onfa mu court one try the dossier Ajazira wo na so no ano hye nti the only thing say na be miana no adenti na up till now Mugabe Maase can last one we say sa trumu yi ayade bia the entire country the entire ye nyina si empe adenti na Nadu up till now won't minka na no kra nyam yesa ba umia wo so ye kramoni Masa ba umia next week na mebo ane ba me pesa first flight etu na first flight to a no betin some station about the Hajj committee Hajj ba umia so no ye Muslim was a Muslim me nim seriously media I have my doubts because as a Muslim pa wuji kalimat shahadati di onye ne ba umia ya but that is what he claims because seven previous some Mugabe last year when the way Hajj first year to NDC time when about 2016 Hajj fair na me ho enne yesi kukutua 75,000
750 million cedis from 32 to 750. Obia onu last year what year 36,000, that was the charges won ko 36 nasa wo want me amfana nkwa na fiwe was wo metua the difference of 39 ameka ho ansa adisika wo
16 I paid less than 60,000 Ghana cedis, that is a year 600 million for Nipa 3.
Na me catch we say Togo has say Togo haya $3,000. Burkina Faso, Ghana for break Burkina Faso.
My dad, my mom,
be break Abidjan. Yes.
3,
yes.
I paid for the 3 less than 60,000.
Yes, and I make catch
600 million at that time.
Yes.
And then Nipa Baku say
750 million.
75,000.
What's all your cramoni? What near young crabo for say? What's the Yamara, me babe president? Now me feel say metna from the north war. Yeah, train. I prepare.
Mahmoud, was deputy regional organizer. Yenti also.
Nancy medana me so da ye bia me hu Ghana fo moja e wona na don sam. But finally at the end of the dream no I see his blood as well. On say Nana Akufo-Addo the Ghana for a diagro. In my own estimation, no me who say ono na dream no wenya the opinion na ewie. Msesia whatever that he will do, say or they be protected, and also they be cover. Sa boni ni na ne to trust him ni na wedi no. Or be pay to me the akata sa man. So that's what he is doing now. Because President Nana Akufo-Addo nimpefe say 2024 about to ye between anyame adom NDC bedu sunkuni onim say NDC nya bepe asemato no. So whatever that he will do possible obeye to make sure say MPP remains in power. And maybe nana meetie o program a wone prof kasa enra enyumre me te asem na me ne me former mate be obi a me ne masters or a district director of your friends Electoral Commission. Me ne kasa ye no o se Jack eniema nkofo we pese ye no ade so mu nyina so original, because you cannot force all of us as district directors of Electoral Commission and regional directors of Electoral Commission say yenye de mompe emamo. It's terrible.
What's it done now?
And Ceci Amuga, let me tell you something. I did my own investigations in the Upper West region and somewhere Savannah region, some few secondary schools there. Ceci MPP ayen a policy say headmaster there were some assistant headmasters in some secondary schools are no more your friend saying promotion other headmasters.
Yeah.
Omone ebimu according to an agreement to make sure say obe pene aye returning officer for district now will promote you. They are doing those things just to make sure that say they will protect all the ills that they have done in this system. But you know one thing, Meti Free Henry Na and the confirmation you gave on this show, it goes to reflect on culture of silence now. Nanado at the to all state institutions in this country. Yes, or the intimidation pure. Meet on prof conversation. Now prof say on impenya phone because I know or more just some. It is all over. It is all over, not only Electoral Commission. Yes, and because currently we're making sure that the system is hard up to the extent that a bit taking some few genuine and bold people say omobe sorry jina akasetia na baino, because see sebi ebia edwuma na nipa kro no wom no eho no nya kakra didi, eho no nya kakra di tua school fees, eho no nya kakra de hwe ne busuafo ade enso mekoka ye yimedi ye nyi we dia transfer ye be ma on wan kasa o de edwuma no be den e be to. So the only
the idea no information me picky and say omo pese eye directors no regional directors ne constituency
district directors no
yes efankofo a omuye omonkofo
senamefo
any ade tie ni wo
Mugabe Maase say already na edwuma no ma start on say returning after the district directors no
yes recruit
after the district directors the next in command is the returning officers sisi ameno ka say ho ena omode omuni akwakoto to make sure say omobe recruit returning officers that will be in bed with them. But you see, when you look at all these things, Mugabe, like I started by saying, say meda na me so dan bia me humuja e wona na dunsam. This message should get to Nana Akufo-Addo say Ghana for enya omadwen Nana pa ondane no ho electoral commission boss MPP be free aban
yentu aba no onifie
ni enfa bi nkoto enya electoral commissioner
na Gabe nya
returning officer
ombeko
as for that one they will go. And you see, he shouldn't think say ebia Ghana for na no betimi ato
hu be na ato no so
and na make say onim de waye nti ono nim say MPP free abaswa power. It will be difficult for the next NDC government. Yes, say nti krampo no on pese Alancha Manten so be president. And nti no on pese Kennedy Japan be president. Nti no on pese any other person should succeed him except Dr. Baumia. Because said Dr. Baumia they were done the podol into ono de okasa onko da ha obeda na alaji okay. Sometimes last week there was a news that was breaking from Upper West say secondary schools in Yebiani. I don't know whether you heard
it. We carried the story here.
Regional communications officer oye NDC ni ekoye sa press conference na me wo hobi. Immediately after the press conference, the headmaster called. Yati say edwuma no yebe say, and it's just nauseating to say the least. Inti say nkrani nye aduane ndi amenka because we are MPP we shouldn't say and I'm saying that the most unfortunate thing for Nana Addo say mane nye na adwen say obi esu no because ye hu de ekwo this country and say ye betina sepa ye all should just go off. It's no work. Some of us they are ready say omo life not even job and yet job wasem. And I'm saying that I'm happy this information came out to you and ran all those things. We are picking serious intelligence even from and you see the only say omo ankasa party for ni bi but he doesn't know.
Very well.
Let me just end with 3 days ago. Na many MPP ni because I said tutor at a college of education. And some omo year from 2012, 2016 to 2020 now. He told me everything and said that look, this is the time for them to speak up for this country. And then Nana Akufo-Addo nkwane betime di Ghana ni.
That's Prince Mahmoud. Apa aye West Deputy Regional Organizer of the NDC, live on TV as well as also on Power 97.9 FM. Amuzu Herbal Clinic. Sabi Ugusu Eboa Eyetimamofo Bema Waye Mere Obese Ujina Wonaso and we are say we are champion ata. Bion say ye Surugoni was Mahmoud ni Surugoni was Madina ni Surugoni was Madina ni Bema Ujina Wonaso boy Juame will say yes. And ye will be a wo sisi yare and so to toy sasabroi ebe ni nyina low sperm count bema obema ye mere entimi nyina so nche entimi mo adwuma obese onwe ye den etese atankolega biga na se ye honorable Surugodi a furniture Amuzu Herbal Clinic hwe Amuzu Herbal Clinic oko Madina abehuno takwade wo techima wo sanso ena wodi wani ekire eye kaso a wonso bi hu na manfo mobile manfo police station no tafo nhia so Kumase sisi baby a wo Amuzu a stroke fo no mofo mani enche tafo nhia so Amuzu Junction oben eye Moro market ni yepa sanso ena wo sunwane a area 3 ho bi hu Amuzu e wo ho Asama Lebanon second step Madina main station adjacent Mekom Achemota Christian village Onipuma filling station no ena edi eye enhwani mu for doctor 0241 959326 or 0241 9888 84 Dr. Amuzu wabeje so Spanish garlic mixture and capsules ka won ta chiri obi a eja woda na dwa wojo nso bebre ansa na de ache sasa bro na ha hypertension ha obi a wokasa na nka efiri wanum obi a oye oba konfichira no ayase bo odwedwe wadware awie na ho eye ohene odwo ho wunya Spanish garlic mixture and capsules na wabobo netimi aboa oye papa. Yeah, the Spanish ginkgo capsules so about increase blood flow to the brain and say increase improve memory and mental sharpness. Improve memory and mental sharpness. Call pharmacy shop be a ben will be a the press Spanish in Unibito for 0266 114 341 no. Power specialist about hospital was a static and how a component how and I oba fibroid hepatitis B and a HT wow compare a power specialist hospital o machira kwan hwe machira kwan ewo Kumase obehu omo ewo Fiase omone a just go filling station e din hwe ni mu ewo a putu ja contract kwantempon so takwade omo anaje estate customs road no so omone singa washing bin e din hwe ni mu Kumase omo Fiase se mi ka kan ye no just go filling station emo ha wa putu ja contract kwantempon so wode adua ya heba a tonic aba e moja mojuma a cough care a heba mesa eno so bi abo wakuku onye be na onuma ebebo ye papa ye de adua ya malamesin so aba eno so etu malaria se ena mema no betimi abo adwuma ni afro Nicholas ubetimi abo adwuma ni afro Emmanuel ubetimi abo adwuma ni afro Prince ubetimi abo adwuma ni afro Kofi the boy ubetimi abo adwuma ni afro Kevin Asante champion man obaje 3 points ne dia enu ani jirikajiri pebi na bobo ni betimi abo ye pa jirikajiri udu media amingu obia giatum atenkase eye tanko nso etese eye ana kwame akwayi abai wono agiatum se akonta jirikajiri die ene minum bi natena so num bi ko bebe na bobo betimi aboa na bibia konkan ede amaw na Benwood ya wo puku ase Benwood Benwood medie hona wo ne momu ye dwuma puku ase hona oton hunu ya Benwood se muga jirikajiri ne die ability courage atum won toma me frɛ 0244 544422 ofra omobeje oso pharmacy shop bi obenye ndoni bi yanko yenim ono abusurugu by election ewa koso na me eya aduma akobrewa bi epoma kwam ewo asenof se ejebo ejenya ba bedu yekoto aba ewo asenof
well yakwakoto aba ndc nso yakwakoje na yasaba MPP yakoye nyina yebekọ kumawo ne nyina anim ne omoye enim se wutie nsem efiri omanum pa mitie bi na obia no wa no hu ye me nwanwa eye manro ko se Canada Japan for otimi kogina ka se so bakra no weni a ye ma no kwan ebe yiro Canada Japan kasa we no so obepe president di 77 preduasa na se 77 preduasa MPP for the omunyina nyamnam kan wafo waso omunyina agimi aya babi we omunyina ya babi waso omunyina stupid waso omunyina stupid na me kasama ya taking it serious yeah Kennedy bibia obeka bia odi adwuma anya ono na ka se amesole wotia oba momono munya ne mo ebia mo bra bi ye the pictures nti ne o ka kiro se MP no oyeden ya oba e bi na dia na wose wodwene fa well so no se we Jimmy fo a wose gane fo hu se won kanipa wa se kraman ya ye ahoma ye de yeah but Mugabe krama wo hoyi so ote prada na wa chain ya wan chain a ansa na ye bekum sa krama no na wa kanipa ba ye 6 na asem ni kwa se ye ma baga biga we se ha se so no kon ya chechire no ye manu atrans no hu se wa potam ye kankrofo enka bi because 77 previous won ma okuku te se Ghana eye wodia ne ope na wo ba be Jirifu be president won ma okuku se wo se wo ba be president dia ye cheap ma Jirifu we the way ya wo kasa ya ko back koko tie TV wan kasa wanum nsem koko tie ne waka minim de wo ne IGP minim where IGP minim de wo ne dan parent na dan parent na masa adia no wan ka against high court judge no was we are stupid we are dying what Jimmy stupid judge Who are you? I'll deal with you. I didn't know me to me. No, be a chief justice and Timanya. Oh, my anyway. wɔn sa transfer no wɛ mo bɛ di asɛm ma obi so wɔsi mi mpɛ judge wei na mi pɛ yi nkɔ yi wɔ nfiri hɔ and that is what was done nti na no deɛ obiara sɛbisɛbi yɛ Ghana na yaba abedu no ɛna wo kasa nso a yɛsɛ wɔn ankasa yie na afei contempt bawo so nansa sese no nti sese no yɛnyɛ dɛ.
nti mi tena Ghana aka sɛ judge bi a odi mi ma sɛm ɔyɛ stop judge a mɛtena sɛ adeɛ bɛkyɛ mi.
na wo adeɛ nkyɛn but Canada Japan so wɔyɛ stupid.
wɔyɛ stupid
oh na so wɔn fa ho.
kana ma sa.
wɔ MPP ɛna ɔyɛ ɔpɛ president adi ɛna ɔyɛ MP ɛna ɔno na bank role MPP ɔno na Akufo-Addo nsuro ne sɛ gyata wɔn na etimi ka sɛ Akufo-Addo no mi ka sɛ ɔbɛkyerɛ ne nti a ekwankoro mo fa so ɔmo wei ni 2020 nti yɛ bia saa kwan no nso na ɔpɛ ɛyɛ simple and straightforward yɛn nyinaa yɛ nim right from the word go sɛ MPP foɔ wɔn mo te Kwesin din a na wɔn nyinaa popo na wɔn abɔ dam Kwesin yɛ obi a wɔn nim sɛ wɔn ntumi ntaake no the way a asemfoɔ na gye papa na tum no baby a Kwesin firi no ɛhɔ ɛna ne wɔn stronghold ɛhɔ na no wɔn de wei ne wɔn gye aba dodoɔ ne firi ɛna Kwesin aba ofiri hɔ dodoɔ na sɛ ne yɛ nim neɛ ɔgyefoɔ na ba ɛna wɔn di n'akyi nti kwankoro bia so mbɛfa so na wɔn fa so sɛ nka ndi MPP ni na wetu na nkɔda so wɔ parliament odi ni parliament adwuma but wɔn mo fa so kɔti dua kɔfa ne ɛbɛyɛ biara to the point sɛ Supreme Court etimi bɛka sɛ adwuma a speaker no mo yɛ no sɛ yɛyi no mo sponge ne dini mo sponge ne dini to the sense sɛ wɔbɛtena hɔ parliamentary hazards bibi a ɔyɛ nyina mo nyin film I don't know how that one is going to be possible because me a lot of the parliamentary hazards no crime obi wɔ me hɔ na there will be reference made to him na me obia no ɔyɛ me nwanwa ba mate aseɛ sɛ Electoral Commission mu kra papa yi azami ba mo nim mu di anam so that's no problem as at the time what in the papers by what did also what in the certificate enti why any problem bia ya man kwan ko masa said that time no nka Electoral Commission ka said there be amra na ma ho kwanya senka wanko e bedru say was Electoral Commission ko defending no where are they because Electoral Commission and people my baako e bi kro mo plan is hey mo chada man nko no ko wia ye nkonya de ne befa so that is the only justification make me ama the reason why Electoral Commission emi o ma no anya say Jemensa senka ye MPP ni a ka Jemensa sorry adru court that so that be ye clear no because as at the time what didn't krata be to so a ye gi ni tum say obetimi akoto aba no ampa na yensa ka certificate no so onye Canadian but they are quiet they are happy waiting for what a by-election but I can assure you hey asem for no
bomo di ntro ho enyuma adwuma ma ye
o ma huni nyina sa me ba na wo fo na say the exposure in the beba da
no say ye koso
me no nyina be ko ho
jimini do
ye be ko asem no for prepare we go there we be there for 1 week or 10 days enante tuma hal suma tun kan zinti babila wa na wasambe ka watie ya tunde la inshallah erkanzo ye fanya mu atazueta why mu akazo tide mu chinna tauri muna mpang be mi antankuru bi ya soro why kazo tie tun ya na BC yitankuru why rade mi te ba mi sura ba sa nya sura fa ananzo mi c'est comme ça antini mi nua ne ye kan ko si nyina ne se pam no twa no ni nyina ne se macho by election ye beko asin no seat eyeye dia hey MPP pa wo mun ko chicho bia sika enfes kan ko gudem wo mun yini mun jin diska no mabokro no na ye ka no na wo mun di aguo wo mun di brem adenti na mo bre no MPP ni bia mbrem sika adenti no man fam ho mun susa mo pampuntu juma no adenti no man fam mo covid wo mun nim sam wo ho enne mu yesi se woni mo wu a hwena mo hwe ne asi wo komawu hwe ne asi wo komawu ya tuwe ya obia ma free ho na de wo majimi ya ba da to we wie na to ma wie a ne ya aje wo so wutie ya de wase pa na memo ahode se we pra enti no setem bia bompa ma hu se ya ne na wo hwe asema ya ne mini wa eto e bi kura wa how chia no on my behalf ana sa me boa ya kyerɛkyerɛ kuru ne abusuafoɔ no nyinaa wae
Nana Akufo-Addo Nana Akufo-Addo ne MPP em so mu ni ferie bia wo mu
ono mo obi
nyame bɔ na wo yɛ bɛma na ho ɔfɛ ɛte sɛ Nana Addo a wobɛnya ferie ya na atema ɛde amanipa
Mugawo ya de asama bo
dabi mi kyese nyame abɔ na wo ho ɔfɛ te sɛ de Nana Addo ho ɔfɛ ya ubenya ferie e de ama ubenya tema de ama pensioners
pacho de
anwofe ne so ba bobura
ferie no ho asema America no ye krom kasa ye bu baby say se kramai like who se kramai de ne nine wo obia. That means that particular dog no was feeling the basic essence boy him se kramai de nkeka enya aboa e de ne nine mom na e de prepare. President Nana Akufo-Addo, NPP in Ghana for in 2017, they gave you one of the widest parliaments to any president within the first system. Not Kufo, NPP for Amphibian President Kufo. They did it for President Nana Akufo-Addo.
Yes.
2017, you had an overwhelming majority.
Yeah. 169
against 106. Overwhelming parliament. Apart from 1993 parliament. That's what I'm saying. And now you are struggling to have majority in parliament. Anyway, you Nanado. Anyway, you say parliamentary MPP in Ghana for the Mao. You couldn't hold it. And President Nana Akufo-Addo ne Baumia, you are struggling to have a slim majority. For the first time, your party is ruling, and yet an opposition party is providing speaker for the parliament. And you know, Nanado. So today, Munim said the only way out, and will be creating chances for by-elections. That is why I'm not surprised. Okay, say. No of us say your friend say Gabi Anase Ninuampu. I don't know whether that's a cousin or
by-election.
Yes.
He was the first person.
He was the first person to tweet say Ghanaians should expect by-elections. Mebwa.
Was it two by-elections?
Only
Electoral Commission.
And so far we have done 2 by-elections. Standing on the tweet of your friend saying Gabi Otredakon. That means that Gabi nimse Kumawu for so by elections. Because about 2 by-elections and currently we are in the second by-elections.
Yeah,
they know who say Kumawu for so by-elections. And you see,
now this is serious.
It's a serious thing because me assembly started to see it now. I went back. Yes. Confirmation of DC. Yeah, the police for now say but what is important is Mugabe. It is a certain say jai Niamanka by now will be doing as a party and a country, no, as I say, Huakugu ascend north to protect our seat. The minimum say Yamiadom Ghana for any ascend north for Betua Banama NDC, and NDC will bring question back to parliament. I'm positive about that. Na so no na Kennedy Japan ka say omotoma no krampo o mbese inefri ho na he should come with his level of stupidity say or saba be bibia stop it in parliament with all due respect. Mugabe ena yete won Ghana fo ani abro meba meeting programs or masate anopa na meeting one of their MPs Nana B is there Nana B is there and I'm so pay normal there
yeah ko horse Nana B
Nana B send no for den Nana B national organizer or send no for den
levels.
Look Mugabe, MPP should pray. They should pray say 2025 ombenya 100 MPs in parliament. Become your MPP. That is where my mind would have been now, because the AC as for this second term of Nana Akufo-Addo, there is nothing to protect again under Nana Akufo-Addo.
Allah so many campaign message.
No, say no kind. And Ukraine Alankai, they don't have anywhere to go again. Former President Mama Kai said if anybody is expecting any miracle to happen within this 1.5 year, Sawada, Michelle, sorry, because nothing will happen. Inti Samuel Babe force Abenya majority in parliament to do what again? This morning another commentator of MPP was saying, oh, they will even go and review the elections of the speaker and see what the Supreme Court will say. Because Kwesi voted and he won by only one. And I'm saying, so many leader MPP, they will get a shock. And I'm because if you look at the statistics that came out of your friends in Kumu, it gave a strong indication that MPP you lost at your own backyard. Now should you see Kumu, your stronghold, what will happen at Asenov? Any of this or Mukoda form? Those Kumu your stronghold. You went on your knees begging. You went and disputed money. You went and disputed Olonka and cup of what's the name? Rice. What about a place that is not your stronghold?
Na yanko honorable Surugo.
Masa, we are na can you. And someone wow, nanka me back the mouth contributions of Ghana's energy. Oh, that be tilapia, Joyce tilapia, Medina, Homu Tiemi, Sammy Cho, man, Cho, Munina Tiemi. Joyce and Obia, they all listen to us.
Upper West right now. Upper West right now offers tilapia for. Yes, by now, Omobi to regional party office.
Regional party office.
Yes.
I remember the chairman there, Menino was. Chairman Menino.
The chairman was now
chairman, anyone in our assembly because the way I'm a buyer, Muchime, a corana, Mujami, but all said and done, I love you people all.
And the most important thing is that Mugabe, Upper West is preparing MPP 0 seats in the Upper West region. Yes, no, even in 2012. In 2012, I was a regional executive. Yeah, my MPP 0 in Upper West region. Yeah, so yeah. Bompire, yeah, boy, whom more they say, Bruce Derry, Monet, now Moma Parliament.
Inside politics, now my pouch, Samunya time. Am I?
Thank you.
Mumaya time, pa, because Ghana for. I was here can't some trauma. Your man and I go forward with chance.
Fantastic.
Master Baba has say, Ababe Jibunyana Musivi. Now I see a Mugabe. You're ready. CV, you're ready. Or China, so what is that? Now,
CV.
That's what we see.
Another person at this summer bar. Yeah, they said December.
That's what we schoolmates.
Baby, I'll call the lawyer mate will live on a year, Virginia Hesse. Prawo ya and ordinary
and make say Muga you ready
now prepare CV now do CV see at so called Oxford you be kind and now do CV
yeah penny classmates
say you be in the class maybe or call law school no yeah penny mate for no more now they be
yeah obi anya meka say oni na na
so they be so
and you say CV na ready and na you ready why also prepare CV my
fantastic
near baba you see okay one may be a kanyam ya chia obi
show your love news na ba Baja for a chair.